There comes a time, the whole wide world will welcome the rising sun. Here comes the time, for everyone to see that what will be, will be. This is the time, for you and I to stand together as one. Yeah. They will know, they will know. The sun is rising, from east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? Oh, you wave your flag and be proud of who you are, because the sun is rising. We shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. We spent our lives in pain and misery, never gonna trade our freedom with any mystery. It's affecting our soul and it's killing us slow. What we've been through, we are far from being good, but we are blessed by Jovista, Biafra. So we're never gonna give up. We're never gonna give up. There'll be light in the wind of a tunnel. It will shine so bright all time. The whole wide world will embrace us. Nobody can stop us, nobody can cage us, nobody can stand us, yeah. They will know, they will know. The sun is rising, from east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? Oh, you wave your flag and be proud of who you are, because the sun is rising. We're shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. The windows and curtains, green lights revealing. When I think about how blessed we are, goosebumps all over my body. Sunrise to the black stripe, black strands crossing grey stripes. Clashes upon clashes, many lives turn to ashes. When I ponder and reminisce, the actions I see malice. Blood on the ground, this is how we fly. Our beautiful flag all around the world. Blood on the ground, this is how we fly. Our beautiful flag all around the world. We go carry the cross together. We walk through to Zion. We stumble, we rise. How the victory will start. Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know. From east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? I still wave your flag all over the world, because the sun is rising. I see we shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. They will know, they will know, they will know. The sun is rising. Wave your flag anywhere you are. Yeah. You see the sun is rising. Because the sun is rising. Freedom, freedom, yeah. We are the sun, we are rising.
A viral video has emerged showcasing human skulls and skeletons discovered at a Kututu market situated along the boundaries of Anambra and Imo State, allegedly produced by the so-called Odimma Ndiosu initiative, which asserts that ESN committed the atrocious act. Welcome, good afternoon, and welcome to Biafra Television Hero. I am Wada Jovista Chichi, and if this is your first time of joining us on BTV, you are welcome. This afternoon, we are bringing three guests to analyze the happenings in Nigeria, as it is always. Of course, everyone knows that it is time to divide Nigeria before things begin to fall apart. And this afternoon, we are going to avert our usual tradition of taking IPOB press release because of the length of the work or discussion we are going to have this afternoon. So I am going to immediately begin to invite or introduce our guest. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Mazi JCI Onyuku, you are welcome to the program and you are live on Biafra television hero.
Mazi Jovista, afternoon to you.
Wada Jovista.
God bless you. It's a pleasure to be here.
You are welcome to the beautiful program, Mazi. Mazi, Mazi, can you introduce yourself more to our viewers?
Yes, like you said, my name's Mazi Jesse I. Ojoko. By the special grace of Elohim, I happen to serve the indigenous people of Biafra at the zoo, Nigerian National Coordinator, and I co-coordinate IPOB in the whole of West Africa, among other assignments that I undertake. God bless you. It's my pleasure to be here.
You are welcome. Mazi Agocha Chirendum, can our viewers and lovers of freedom hear your voice?
Good afternoon, Biafrans, lovers of freedom, wherever you are. Today is the 30th of March, Sunday, 2025. I want to welcome you. My name is Edward Churchman. I am a member of the media team of the Biafra specifically. I work under the own right as I want to welcome each and every one of you to today's program. And we admit and pray to do justice to the topics. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mazi. It's a delight to have you once again in the studio. Wada Idara, can you say hello to Biafrans and lovers of the freedom?
Thank you so much. Thank you, Wada Jovista. Thank you for the opportunity to be on your program. My name is Idara Abasi-Oku, and I am from Mbiakomuran, the Yo province of Biafra land. I have various responsibilities. My main task in this life right now is to work with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the rest of us for the actualization and realization and restoration of Biafra. Every other thing that I do is secondary. Thank you once again, Wada, and good day to all listeners. Bless us all.
You are warmly welcome. Some of our viewers must have heard you say you are Idara. Please, are you Idara Gold?
Oh, no, I'm not Idara Gold.
All right. I just want to have that lighter moment before we begin, because some people will begin to think that that is our Idara Gold. This is Idara Oku here on BTV. Mazi Agocha Chiwendum, I will want to or like to start with you. All of us have witnessed the viral video that asserted that ESN committed this heinous crime. In also in that video that we saw skeletons and human skulls in the forest or bushes. And also, Mazi, what is your take on that video and the assertion that ESN is responsible?
Thank you very much, Wanda. Are very laughable sometimes. I look at how things are going, how human beings who allegedly have their brains intact, who can think, who can wake up and know that this is morning and know that this is afternoon, and when it's darkened, they know it is night, we all of a sudden begin to think like they are no more human beings who are created in perfect presence and reasoning. For instance, for the past 4 years, we've seen this brazen insecurity all around Biafra and especially in the 5 eastern states of the Southeast. We have received countless propaganda allegedly on target the indigenous people of Biafra eastern states as those who are responsible for all the insecurity happening. On recent time and on video, we have on video the current governor of Imo State, Governor Hope, who stood before the people and before camera and national television and defended and stated that if anybody says that the insecurity happening in Ogun is caused by IPOB and yes, that the person is alive, he said all these things, and the videos are on public. This in the public to anyone for anyone to access. So what we saw, the video that just popped up last from also is another propaganda for those who were paid, contracted and paid to make sure that IPOB was tagged terrorists, to make sure that the image of IPOB and the Eastern Security Network are destroyed. Those who fell, those who worked with the Nigeria agent in Finland are also coming, probably playing at the next card of their devil to see or to make sure that IPOB is indicted for the international community. Remember, the Nigerian government tried to sell this idea to the international community. They want to sell it to the American people. They want to sell it to the American government. They wanted to sell it to the EU. They want to sell it even to the Britain that they are working for. But Britain, being a civilized country, England, being a civilized country, being a civilized people, their constitution and their laws will not allow them to do such. So they already know that African leaders are riddled with all sorts of corruption and they can do anything for money. So this is the only place that they can turn the law upside down. And they still stand strongly to tell you that they have been right on this one. The Eastern Security Network was formed by Mazi and Kanu in 2020 for the safety and security of our people. The reason for forming the Eastern Security Network is to fight insecurity. This insecurity is not to kill our people. This insecurity is to look at terrorists who are invading our farmlands, our homes, our forests, kidnapping and killing our people. The Eastern Security Network are not seen in villages and in towns. They are in forests and in bushes, defending our territories and defending our farmlands. It is not a hidden secret that even all over Nigeria, be it south, the middle belt, also called middle south, and in the southwest and in the southeast, everybody is clamoring, calling that the Fulani terrorists are invading their families, raping their women, killing their children, killing their men, invading communities and killing them. They are wiping communities up. I mean, recently we saw what happened at Kanu in Enugu State, Osuka, to be precise. So it is not a hidden thing that many people have formed security and vigilante groups not to see that they defend their communities concerning this. So anybody who is alleging that the Eastern Security Network came to a court in Osun State to kill their own people, those whom they are fighting to defend or to bring their freedom, that person is lying. Those who are responsible for what happened to Osun entirely are not members of IPOB, and they are not members of the Eastern Security. The leadership of IPOB, the capitalists, specifically, have been on the radio, on Radio Biafra, calling names of those who are perpetrating this very evil, and the Nigerian government or even state government cannot fail ignorant of this. They are all aware. We have the IPOB have raised SEFRA and countless press release to counter these lies and deception. And so, if anybody is trying to recycle the old lies again to come bring it back, the person is either you're lying to yourself or you are under the payment some agent sponsored by the Nigerian government. We are not going to allow it. We've been fighting this battle for a very long time and we've been recording victories. So even as they have come with it again, we are not going to allow it, and we're not going to allow it to be swept under the carpet. We are tired of people rising up one day and labeling us what we are not. And I want to call on the leadership of IPOB to speak to our legal team to file a lawsuit against those who are alleging or those who are saying that the Eastern Security Network killed people, because they cannot do it. Just before the sudden security fight in Anambra State, every security situation or insecurity situation in Anambra have been alleged or heaped on the Eastern Security Network an IPO. But since this fight started, all the criminals that have been arrested, all those that have been killed, none of them has been identified as a member of IPO or a member of the Eastern Security Network. This is to prove to you that all this while, every propaganda that you carry have been lies upon lies. Because IPOB is built on the foundation of purity and sanctity. We are a freedom fighting organization. We are only asking for a referendum. We are only asking for self-determination. We are only asking so that we can determine our fate in Nigeria. We said we are tired of what is happening. And we are not expecting that the Nigerian government will fold their arms and watch that happen. Yes, it is something that they can also even use our own brothers and sisters, just what we are seeing as a culture. Listen, let me tell you, those from also know their brothers who brought in strangers from outside to come and begin to kill their own people. They know them, and they are not members of Nigeria. No, neither are they members of Eastern Security. They know them. They are their own brothers. Some of them were sponsored by the politicians, and they could not retrieve the guns they gave to them during the election time. So these guys have to use it to other ways they want to begin to enrich themselves and do other things they wish. So bringing the name of insecurity to be attached to IPO to Eastern Security Network cannot solve the security situation in Nigeria or in Southeast or in particularly in Imo State. They've been doing all these things without achieving any result. I think is it not time they put up this burden of no benefit and look a gap for their security for crying out loud? You've been ringing this wrong bell, you're ringing it, everybody is gathering. The rain is not coming, the storm is not coming together. And you think your insistence on ringing this wrong bell will gather the storm? No, it will not. Because the people, the indigenous people of Biafra, the people in Eastern heartlands already know those who are responsible for the insecurity. So, Eastern Security Network does not kill people. They only chase away and they only go after terrorists. Remember, the former president of Nigeria was on national TV. He also said it in Al Jazeera, in international TV, that those who are causing insecurity in Nigeria, that those admin are not Nigerians, that they are foreigners who actually were imports from Libya through the war in Libya and all that. So these people are not Nigerians. They invaded this country, and ever since then they've been invading different regions, communities, kidnapping people, and making money for themselves. So what we are seeing is a propaganda to tarnish the image of IPOB.
All right, Mazi, can we just hold it there because I will still come back to you. Mazi JCI Onyuku, looking back from 2021, since the governor of Imo State, the judiciary governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has been committing menace in that state. Pardon, please. Using a bubago and also fighter jet bombing here and there. What can you say about this viral video? Mazi, just are you with us?
Oh, sorry, Wanda. I didn't hear the first thing you said.
Okay, but did you get my question? All right, I said that looking back from 2021.
Repeat the question.
I'm repeating the question, please. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Okay, looking back at from 2021, that the judiciary governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, have started the menace in Imo State of bombing every village in Imo State, including also, we know how many months the fighter jets, the Tucano jet that Nigeria bought from US, we know how many months it was flying all over Imo State, especially that Osu area, and also using Ebubago and the unknown gunmen. What do you have to say about this viral video that is claiming that ESN is responsible?
Oh, thank you, Wanda. I want to, without wasting your time, I just want to lay more blocks on what my brother Mazi has said. Is a childish play. That game that video is a childish play. I am sure by now those who put up that video will be blaming themselves. It's a very poor write-up. Whoever wrote that script didn't think well. The script was very poor. The execution was very poor. And the target, it was a misfired arrow. It's indeed a misfired arrow. Before I go ahead to debunk it, I just ask only a few questions, pertinent questions to be asked. If the Nigerian security operatives, DSS precisely, is colluding with, because there's always mobs, there's always people who collaborate with the enemies to kill the people, with those that are colluding with in their association, in that organization that claim to be the something initiative of that village that is claiming that this is ESM camp. I want to ask them, how come are they just realizing that there was an ESM camp now? Where was the ESS all these years that thousands of people have been slaughtered in that place? The person that made the video refused to go inside to show us the real carnage. They just show us, ultimately, they just show the cross section that they claim they saw over 300. It can't be 300. The people slaughtered in that place can't be less than 10 or 20,000. The carnage in that place, there's no video will be able to record it. Because everybody will be shocked to see that level of killing, massacre within that radius, and that the state kept quiet. For your information, in case you have forgotten, everywhere in Biafra land, how you know they are entering a new state is military checkpoints. If you are living in Imo, once you are the boundary of Imo, you encounter joint military checkpoint, heavily guarded, heavily armed policemen, military tanks, not one vehicle. You see multiple tanks in the back, you see police, you see army, you see navy and all that in every border. And you have that, immediately you leave Imo State and step into Anambra, within 100 to 200 meters, you see another checkpoint, the checkpoint in the other side of Anambra. Now, this particular location is just at the center and the border. This location is at the border, the border value. So how was it possible for ESF to operate in that place, to be killing people, and that this security, Nigerian security operatives, they didn't know? So you see that it was a very poor video. They didn't think well. So next time, I believe they have intelligent people. They should get more intelligent in cooking up their dirty lies. There's something about lies and falsehood. They don't last forever. Okay? It doesn't matter how intelligent you are in cooking up false narrative. One day, something will happen to debunk it. Britain went to Australia, did all the evil, tried to wipe out a whole race, killed all their parents, buried them in mass graves, thinking that nobody will know, told the children lies about who they are, imposed themselves on them just to have access to their resources, natural resources. After how many years? Through one thing or the other, the children began to see graves, so mass graves, and did some research and discovered that these were their parents killed by the British. So you cannot hide life forever into perpetuity. Something will happen that will debunk it. All the lies that keep the zoo together, the lies of all the false narrative of Igbo this, Igbo that, Igbo Q, has it not been debunked now without we doing anything? So the lie about those videos is too cheap. One, I don't waste my time on that. So let them tell us how Eastern was able to operate the camp in that location with two heavy military checkpoints to the left and to the right, and they didn't know. Is there any video anywhere showing the Nigerian military men bust into an ESN camp at that location? No. Do you need evidences? I can forward to you. Press releases, press statements, videos, calls, shout out by ESM leadership. Mazi have mentioned names, not once, not twice. That there are criminals in so place. Have you forgotten that the leadership of IPB comes on air to say we don't have camp in Oslo, we don't have camp in this place, we don't have camp in that place. I was in a meeting somewhere in the country. Somebody there was telling me I should tell the leadership they should one Mazi should stop coming on air to mention names that we don't have camp, we're equipping the enemy. I said no, shut up, let him say it. What I was afraid of then is exactly what is happening now. I said they should mention it because tomorrow they can come up with video in the name of they want to provide evidence to nail Onion or to pin IPOB down. They can come up with a video now start claiming that all these locations where they have all their criminal camp of the criminal in the Scandinavian prison, they can come up tomorrow and begin to claim that these things are run by ESL. So it's good that he debunks them now. So there will be references. We can make references to them as we do now, as we have. They are planning to bring max witnesses, support of the people they have used to be killing our people. You see, the case of the zoo irritates me. And the zoo don't know that every conscientious person, intelligent people all over the world are laughing at Nigeria. They keep repeating the same thing. Old tricks that Britain used 200 years ago to conquer people is what Nigeria is using now in 21st century. Old tricks that they use in is it Ottoman Empire in Turkey to wipe out the race is what they want to try in Igbo land in 21st century. Are these people intelligent at all? The same trick they used to wipe out the old Kemet in Egypt, to wipe out the race, is what they want to try now, age and time, with social media. So you think they're not thinking right. So when Hope Uzodinma and his military, he's a terrorist government, were killing every day, bombing in those locations. Those people they were killing, where did they keep the scores? So when you gather the scores or where you throw them into, you video it, you want to use it to nail IPOB or ESL. It's laughable. It's indeed ridiculous. Well done. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mazi. I still have another question for you on this issue. But let me make this assertion before the question. In 2021, I was a witness to some killings by the Nigerian military in that axis. Number one, remember that this axis we are talking about is the same axis that Barrister Ejiofor was last attacked, that 3 people lost their life on that day. Barrister Ejiofor was attacked by military men with their armor tank. On that axis, 3 people lost their lives. Also, there was a young boy in that 2021. I was a witness to what I'm saying. For those asserting ESN, this young boy, he will be at the age of about 21, between 20 and 22 years. Yeah. This boy was the breadwinner of his family because the boy came from a very poor home. So he does all this menial job like going for molding blocks or farming for people. They will pay him. This young man was standing in front of his father's house, and the Nigerian military men were passing with their Hilux van, and immediately they sighted this young boy. They stopped, took the boy into the compound. The youngest sister came out and was crying and was asking, what was it? What was it? The Nigerian military shot this boy. His body was dismembered in front of inside his father's compound. There was another man called Arere. The man, it was on May 30th, 2021. He was blowing the trumpet, going along that axis, that road. These military men, they were passing as a trigger-happy men they were. They just shot at this man. Now, I've said it repeatedly on this platform that my own brother-in-law was taken to Osun, was dropped into Boro pit and poured acid upon. His car was seized, his phone was collected, and all the money in his bank account were being diverted. And what was their reason? He said that he was uh, a friend to politicians. Now, ESN, they know that I am a member of IPOB, and they know that that young man, that my brother-in-law that they took to Osun and killed, probably many people are benefiting from him because he was a philanthropist. So many people were under scholarship and he used to give to the needy. Now, these people that I know that they killed, were they ESN members? But the question I want to ask here, Mazi, JCI, we remember that the Nigerian army went into those camps in Osu and claimed that they dislodged the criminals in that camp. It was the Nigerian army that showed us the video of where it was boldly written, the palace of Igwe Butuzo. But the question here is, why is it that both Odimosu and Nigerian military has been unable to provide one corporate? They will always go to this camp when nobody is there. Even the ones that went to Atamiliuli, not even one criminal, not even one corporate was apprehended. Mazi, why was it too difficult for them to apprehend these corporates, at least to be as evidence that yes, these are ESN members or that they have truly dislodged the criminals in those camps?
The answer is very simple. Your guess is as good as mine because they run the camps. The people crying foul now, the people running these camps. There's nobody, no consensus person anywhere in the world who is familiar with Biafran struggle that does not know that what is obtainable in the zoo is that criminals are given governmental coverage. Criminals are promoted by the government. You can see what's going on in Imo State now. Opus Odema is giving staff of office to criminals as kings. The whole of Imo State has been taken over by criminals, and it's one day, in a no distant time, the whole place will upload. The reason why you can't see them catch anybody, bring anybody, except the one they intimidate and say, confess you are ESM. You cannot see them apprehend ESM members caught committing crime. They only pick individual, innocent people going about their normal businesses and tag them, torture them into confession. Because the camps are run by them. The criminal in the Scandinavian country who didn't know they was working for the government, even the politicians were saying it. We see debate in the National Assembly. I mean, and the few, just one or two people there who are for the people, who stand on the path of the truth, they were always asking the government, why will you be tagging the people with crime? And these people have been making press release saying, we're not the one who don't commit crime. We don't support criminals. We're only there to protect our land against Fulani going around raping our women, discouraging their agricultural or agronomy activities in Biafra land. We don't support evil in any manner. The government is still targeting this person, labeling them criminal. Somebody is coming to say, I'm the one. Call me a terrorist. I hate them. Somebody is coming out to take responsibility. You don't talk to the person. You don't persecute him. You don't ask questions. You are promoting him. It's because he's working for you. We don't need anybody. We don't need a suicide. We don't need too much talk. They explain all this. Everybody knows that every criminality in the whole of Biafra land is sponsored by the government. Nigerian government is the one doing all the nonsense, setting up camps. Why are they setting up camps? To reduce the Igbo population, and people don't know. Every of those camps you see that operate have foreigners supervising them. Does he ever have military training? At the last time I checked, he does not. So how was he able to coordinate those camps? Somebody with military training must be giving them advice. It's just that no matter how intelligent you are, in the face of truth and justice, you'll still make a mistake. I asked on Friday in our program, how come with all the military intelligence, how come with all the French intelligence, all the intelligentsias of the world that advised the zoo, under Kamala Harris, Pentagon was the one advising them on how to destroy the ESA, how to criminalize IPOB. So with all the intelligence of all the most intelligent agencies in the world put together, how were they able to bring in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu without ordinarily getting paper from Kenya, who is a puppet? Kenya that can't disobey them. They made that mistake. Why? Because Elohim allowed them to make the mistake so that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be criminalized. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be jailed by any court in the world. Nowhere, not even in Kenya. There's nowhere he can be criminalized. That is why appeal court decided and acquitted him, because he has committed no crime. And by extraordinary rendition, no court can jail him. Why are they making all these mistakes? Because the hand of God is in what we're doing. The reason why you see them every day, they come out, call all manner of names, no evidence, apart from the cooked up lies, apart from the stage plays, like this one now, this stage managed video, it's because they're the one committed the crime. The only reason from one side, they don't reason from our own side. Even when they try to reason from our side, their reasoning does not match up their evil machinations. That's what's going on, madam.
Thank you so much, Mazi. Wada Idara, I have a question for you, and I think I will bring two questions to you. And the first one is, why this continuous labeling of IPOB and ESA? And again, before we will go into the lynching that took place in Edo proper, because in our own language, our people say the knife the. Yes, but before we delve into that proper, what's your take on jungle justice?
Hmm. Thank you very much, Mwada Jovista. Jungle justice, as we all know, is not correct. It's not proper. But why has jungle justice become a seemingly prevalent method of enacting justice in the zoo called Nigeria? Why is it so? It's like a go-to. When I was younger, growing up, I would see petty thieves in the neighborhood. People would carry tires and put on them. As of people trying to say, "Oh, don't do that. Take them to the police. Take them to the law enforcement. Take them to where they're supposed to go and get justice." But over time, I didn't see it stop. And recently, we have seen a very glaring case of what is called jungle justice play out. People are saying, "Oh, it shouldn't have been that way. Oh, it should have been that way." Jungle justice is never correct. I'm not going to speak more than you have asked. Jungle justice is not correct. Why is jungle justice prevalent in Nigeria? It's simply because the law has failed us. The police has failed us. You take criminals to the police, all manner of all levels of crime. The next thing you see that person walking on the street free. You take somebody who has committed murder to the police. You never hear of the person again. You don't hear of the case. It goes black. There is a case that happened in the zoo during the 2023 elections. That case till today has just fizzled away. In fact, the person that supposedly the suspect in this case was shown on national TV, and everything that we saw in that TV show indicated that that man had government protection. What am I talking about? It didn't happen in Biafra land, but it's a typical example of how the zoo runs. There was this case of a young girl that was killed in a BRT bus in Lagos. The girl reached out to her friends and said the driver, she was alone, she was the last passenger of that bus. She reached out to her friend and said, "This driver is being suspicious. He's asking me to come to the back or come to the front. I can't remember." And after that, she called again and said she didn't feel safe. And that was the last they heard of her. They said they found her blood in the bus. The driver was arrested. Nothing came out of that case. It just went. What at Jovista? Do you see why sometimes people resort to jungle justice? Just because they want closure. Just because they have been crying out for help. Just because these things have been happening and nothing is done. What do you do when you find your back up against the wall? Do you make a hole in the wall or do you turn around and fight and defend yourself? Wada, I'd like you to answer. What do you do when there's nobody coming to fight for you and you have to fight for your life? You have to fight for your land. You have to fight for your existence. Like IPOB is doing for Biafrans. What do you do? IPOB is not resorting to jungle justice. But is jungle justice right? No. I'll rest my case here, Wada.
Thank you so much. I asked you first question that why the continuous labeling of IPOB and ESN? Why are they not getting tired of labeling us?
Oh, Wada, it is only IPOB and ESN that has the guts to tell the Nigerian government and their enablers, that is the colonial masters, the truth. Every other person that comes out to make a statement about Nigeria or what is happening, not just in Nigeria, but in all the colonial and colonial structures we have in West Africa and beyond. Apart from IPOB, I've not seen any group that comes to say things the way they are. Every other person will they'll talk to a certain level and they'll say, okay, political correctness. You think they are going to make sense? They'll just throw one thing into the conversation that will make you know that this person is just trying to buy a certain group of people to listen to them. But it is only IPOB that has been consistent since 2012. Different waves of members of IPOB have come and gone, but IPOB has remained consistent in facing up to the Nigerian government and telling them the truth. IPOB is the only group that has been able to come up with an armed group that is disciplined and does not go against instruction, and that is the Eastern Security Network. And the Nigerian government cannot understand it because even their own military men are all over the place messing up. Recently, I came across a video of an army man that stole mobile phone and he was being ridiculed. Then another video was trending about police that went into a shop during the Oyo crisis last week and was stealing phones. Members of the Eastern Security Network don't do that. You don't even see them. You don't see them, and the Nigerian government cannot understand it. So what do they do? Do you want to kill a dog? Just give it a bad name, and that is what we are facing. Propaganda is what? Can you face propaganda? This is not 1967. This is a different kind of war that IPOB is engaging in. It's not a war of violence. And the Nigerian government understands that we are doing everything the right way. We come to equity with our hands clean. So they must continue to label us. And we are ready. We are not backing down. Whether we are not going anywhere, we are not afraid.
We go nowhere.
If you don't know what you're up against, then go home. But if you're in this struggle, be ready to take all the debt, all the yama, all the cement. That is what we are going to get. And we are here for the job.
Thank you so much. Mazi Agochachiwendum, back to you. Yeah, we are still on the Uromi Edo lynching of allegedly 16 Hausa hunters who are traveling from Port Harcourt to Edo State to celebrate um their or to end their fasting, and that happened. The two questions I have for you there is, how was it possible, or how would have these people determined, with the level of insecurity in Nigeria, that those people were Hausa hunters? Secondly, who is to blame in that lynching? Is it the mob that lynched them, or the government, or the Nigerian security agencies?
Okay, thank you very much, Wanda. First of all, I want to condemn the act of jungle justice. It's a barbaric act that nobody should support. Biafra is going to be a model of leadership, security, and civility to the black community and the firewood. So in as much as we are still calling for the restoration of Biafra, we must condemn everything that is not right. According to our leader, anywhere we see corruption, we fight corruption. So I have to sincerely condemn that very act before I delve into your question. I want to tell you one thing. The people that lynched those men and guns intentionally wouldn't have done that. And I can tell you, countless times, if you go to that community or town and interview them, they will tell you on so many occasions that they have caught criminals like that and handed them over to the security and nothing happened to them. The problem is they have failed, the government have failed the people. The government have failed the people. And the people are taking justice into their own hands. They are taking justice into their own hands. In Biafra land, we are not going to experience such a thing. Do you know why we don't experience such a thing? Because the security set up in Biafra make sure that everyone is secure. That such situation will not rise. Because action brings reaction. If not that the people make strangers who came from far north, some of them are not Nigerians, some of them are from North Africa, some of them are from other countries in West Africa, some of them are from Northern Nigeria, coming into their community with arms and ammunition with intention to kill, to maim, to steal, to kidnap, and to destroy. They wouldn't have resulted or going into lynching and killing them, and as a result, burning them alive. So I want to blame the government for not offering the people the needed security, and they thought it wise to take it to their own hands. We have had several, on many occasions, even here, even in Biafra land, when communities will catch criminals, be it Fulani herdsmen terrorists, or even other criminals, and they will hand these people over to the government. And the next thing you will see that same person walking the streets free as a free man. He fought his freedom. He fought his freedom. They did not do justice to the crime he committed. So, for how long will the people continue to suffer this kind of neglect from their government? So they decided to take it to their own hand and all that. If you can recall, I think in 2022, a young lady, or 2023, I think, a young lady called Deborah Samuel, who only confessed her faith in a school WhatsApp, was later the next day lynched publicly and burned alive in her own school. And people were standing by watching, laughing, and they celebrated. What first happened? When there was outcry on the social media, they went and apprehended few of them. Then I want to ask, since then, have you heard of any of those that were apprehended, be convicted, and made to pay the crime they committed? Rather, they were giving signs, high-rank lawyers who stood and defended them. And I can tell you that many of them have been released and free. Till today, nothing has happened. So it is only down in the south that you see things happen like this. If it were in the north, how many times have you seen more killing Igbos in the north and Southerners in the north? How many of them have been arrested? How many of them are even condemned by the northern governors and political leaders? None. But today, we see even the leaders from the south are condemning it, which is the right thing to do. But then you see arrest and it's going on, which is the right thing to do. We are civilized. We are not expecting that you should catch a criminal and you lynch that same criminal. You should hand them over to the authority, to the security men. The security men will prosecute them and then they face the law. But then, when the government fails the people, what we expect? See, the people will agitate, the people take the law into their hands, and the people will seek justice by themselves. So this is the situation. This is exactly what happened in Europe. So you don't blame the people. They are just tired of the whole situation. They are tired of reporting cases to the government, and they do nothing about it. They are tired of handing criminals over to the police and other security personnel. And at the end of the day, you still see those people walking out and still committing more crime, knowing that when they get their connections and the people who sponsor them will set them free. So, in conclusion, I want to say that the government failed the people. This is the reason, both the criminality and the lynching, it is as a result of the failed governance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. So, do you think that as this insecurity is distressing, do you agree that it is time or that it underscores the urgent need for the government to take immediate action to quell violence or to tackle the root cause of violence?
One, listen, let me tell you, Nigeria as a whole can never be. It's impossible. There is no security situation that the government of Nigeria can take to solve the mental health security issues we have. See, the best thing to do, the very best thing to do is to call for a sovereign national conference. Let everybody sit down and discuss the issues of Nigeria. There and then you see people who say we are tired of Nigeria, what to do. There and then you see people we like neighbors, we see people, let us form the government, let us form the government. And if you see people declare what they want, you say what you want, I say what I want. And then we can voluntarily form a union. And those who want to go will go and decide that by a referendum, the ballot box, and then they'll be allowed to go. But if we continue to deny the reality, to continue to deny the obvious, thinking that there is a way we can fix Nigeria, it's impossible. Anybody who is sincere, who is not a criminal, who is waiting to cash out from the corrupt reading Nigeria to become rich and famous, will always stand by the truth and tell themselves that honestly, Nigeria is still reasonable. So there is no security measure or whatsoever that Nigeria will take that will solve the insecurity problem that is in Nigeria, coming from the north, to the middle, to the west, to the south, to the east, every part of Nigeria is completely ridden with insecurity. I was watching a video today where Christians abroad in America were making case for the maltreatment, the killing, and the destruction of churches and Christians in Nigeria, especially in the northern part of it. So these things will continue and not stop. It will stop. It will not stop. It will continue to happen unabated. So I don't believe that there is anybody who will become president tomorrow and then things will change. The only thing that will change for anybody who will become president in Nigeria that will change is anybody who will become president tomorrow and call for a sovereign national conference. Not this confab or what nonsense they're calling. Whatsoever, if you call the sovereign national conference, that's the only thing that will save the situation in Nigeria. Then and there, the talk in the north that if you want to be part of Nigeria, this is how you do it. The east, if you want to be part of Nigeria, this is how. And then people will agree to that. Then those who want to live like who are Biafrans, who are already tired, who are already out of the come on, we out of this situation, but force down our approach, and we cannot continue. And then we decide our way to the referendum. And point of day, out. Without this, Nigeria will continue to dangle on the road of frustration and destruction.
Thank you, Mazi. Wanda Idara, according to what Mazi Chiwendum said, Nigerian government has failed in its obligations and they have shied away from their responsibility. So, to what extent has the evasion of Nigerian government responsibility and the persistent abuse of power and breakdown of law and order has contributed to the rise of anarchy in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Jovista. First of all, we need to understand what Nigeria represents. Nigeria is not a country. Apart from being a geographical expression, Nigeria is created, it was a creation that was created to destroy the people within the enclave and people that have any business or association with it. Madam, make no mistake, even the people who call themselves the ruling elites in Nigeria today are not immune from any of the problems or any of the issues that come along with Nigeria. They're not enjoying their lives. So over time, when you are in a system where you yourself, that is heading the system, you are not enjoying it, what do you have to meet out to? The people that you are ruling, because nobody is leading anybody in Nigeria. All you have to meet out to them is the hate that you have received. What do I mean? Nigeria is called legal area. Legal area. That is area of blackness. That is coven of darkness. Do you understand what I'm saying? The name Nigeria denotes destruction, denotes retrogression, doesn't denote anything that is wholesome. And so systematically, this thing has been happening over time. Oyendu said that Nigeria is the only place that when you wake up to today, it is worse than it was yesterday. And that is a fact. When we were younger, we used to hear of violence, pockets and pockets of anarchy caused by different kinds of things, mainly religious anarchy. We heard of when I think I was a little girl, then I heard of Betasini riots in the north. And before then, we had the Biafran, the Biafran program. And I used to believe that it was because of the war or the genocide that there was a lot of anger in Nigeria, especially when I left Nigeria and started living somewhere else. I felt it was because of the war. It was because we had seen war. That's why we are so angry. But it's not true. It is designed systematically to tear the people and wear them down in any way possible. So every instrument of state, every government instrument, every military body, every policing body, every um, civil defense, anything that is armed against the people. Imagine you going for police training, and even in your training, they're already making you see the people you are supposed to go and protect as your enemies. Imagine you are going to get military training and they train you so that when you come out, you see civilians, innocent civilians as your enemy. And you are the representation of the government for these people. So naturally, what you are teaching them, what you are serving them from the government is not peace. You are giving them war. You are wearing a uniform that's supposed to protect them. They see you as the person who is supposed to protect them, but you are the one that is attacking them. So little children begin to learn from the police, who is supposed to be their friend, from the army, that aggression is the way, that anarchy is the way. So every little thing, people pick up arms, people get angry. That is on the one hand. On the other hand, the frustration of being a Nigerian, waking up and not being able to access basic things, basic life, basic livelihood, can engender generational anger, societal anger. And all this, would you say it is the government that is responsible? I would say the government is not really responsible because it is systemic. And the only thing that will solve it, like Mazi said, as he spoke before me, that no government is going to come and do anything differently. No government, because they all come with a script. All of them have given their playbook. The only thing the current government is coming to do now is that they are coming to really make Nigerians. They're telling Nigerians every day. These ones are not easy words. They're telling you every day that Nigeria is not meant to work. They will tell you every day. They will do things to show you that we are not supposed to be a nation or a country. I'm sure they will be going home in the night and be wondering, these people, now wow, they're really dull. They are still defending us. They are still defending us. Because with everything that is happening, it is plain to see that it is only remaining to off light for Nigeria. Nigeria is gone. It's gone. It is designed to be an anarchical society. Nigeria is not meant to give anybody peace or respite. Nigeria is a dead zone. Thank you very much.
Wonderful assertion. Thank you so much. Mazi JCI, let's move over to the happening in the Senate. Because so many things has been going on in the Senate, but let's start with the rejection of the motion raised by the Southeast senators. And the second time the Senate is rejecting that motion, the motion of immortalizing Humphrey, was the former INEC chairman and the chairman during military rule. Mazi, what's your take on? Go ahead.
The issue at stake does not need too many interpretations. When we tell people that you don't belong here, they said we are biased. Why should Igbo politicians be begging for vilification when they have the economic power? The zoo was amalgamated because of Igbo land. The primary reason why Lugard amalgamated Nigeria was to capture the old Southeast. And the Igbos are the dominant voice there. Apart from Ijo, okay, maybe Anak, and all those places are small places compared. Where you talk about both the oil and gas, the major resources of the zoo comes from the Igbo land. Forget that you've cut Igbo land, give them different names. All the oil producing communities in Delta, all the Igbo territories in Delta, in the Delta state are Igbo. So now today we have economic power, but nobody recognizes. Somebody came and said that you are displaced people. Nobody talk about it. And they are working to see that we are displaced. And practically before our eyes, Igbo land and Igbo people have been displaced in a place called Zoo. Today, Northerners are still talking about coming to power with all the IBP revelations. Tell me, if it were Yorubas that were shortchanged the way Igbos were shortchanged, will anybody come out to talk about the election again? Every party will find an Igbo candidate. So what happened in the Senate is a clear picture of the reality of things. The contemporary reality is that you have been displaced as a people. You have lost relevance. Maybe you have forgotten. A while ago, somebody did a video. He said that the Igbos should become irrelevant in the Nigerian political space within 5-7 years. It was a viral video everywhere that you become irrelevant. And they have succeeded in doing that. How did they do that? APC is an Islamic party. APC has taken their political terrorism from place to place. They took it to Imo State. Look at how they operate. In case you don't understand the formula, let me explain it. They pass through the churches, the religious criminals, the religious there's a term we use in religious terms for such things. People who think only about themselves, think about their pocket. When they want to destroy Imo State, they come through the church. Mbaka prophesied on his altar. They go to the judiciary, went to the Supreme Court and stamped it and brought it down. And purpose of the man started his killing. He has killed and killed and killed. A while ago, I heard he said he has repented. His repentance now, the pictures of all the people he killed, they've documented it. They want to use it to jail an innocent man, but we are waiting. So when they pass through the church, it's verdict called prophecy. Focus, prepare your mind, because the only thing that enabled colonizer to succeed was religion. Black slaves, most especially Igbo slaves, Biafra slaves, are very resistant in nature. Good. Religion was introduced to regulate the thinking of the black man. Go and check the genesis of religion. Where did it start? Everywhere they dominated all over the world. How do you know their presence? Is they stamp it with their altar. The great Roman Empire have the largest presence everywhere in the world. Why? They were able to control the whole world through Catholicism. British monarch were able to control everywhere they went to through their churches. And they borrowed Islam. They had an understanding with Islam, the same way Fulani has with Yoruba now, to subjugate people. So when they go to the church and produce prophecy, they go to court, where they place their own people. Go to the Supreme Court, who are there. They're the ones there. They will issue judgment that even hell will be shaken. Look at the judgment that produced hope for the man. Even hell was ashamed of Nigerian judiciary for doing so. And he was put in place. They will change everything. NPC didn't win one constituency in Imo State, in case if you have forgotten. But today, everybody has become APC. Do you see the order, how they rule? Everything in the zoo is becoming one party system. It's the same peril, the same art. They move from Imo, they are now like River State. They want to take over River State at all costs. Everybody must be forced to become APC. Everybody must be forced to obey what they say. Kill your people. Look at how our governors are behaving. Anambra State too will adopt APC very soon. Or else Soludo will not be allowed to continue. They want to impose APC everywhere. Everybody must bow to the caliphate. They have planted themselves everywhere in Igbo land. Igbo land has been taken over completely, but they won't succeed. The jihad will fail because why? They are forgetting certain things about history. We are in 21st century. We're in the age of social media. What you're doing in your room, in less than 2 minutes, somebody will hear in America. So it will be difficult to do what you did in Turkey 300 years ago. What you did in Egypt 200, 150 years ago will be difficult now. Another thing they've done to help us as a race, as Igbos, why the jihad cannot work in Igbo land? I'm saying it for them to hear. Let them go and think rather. The jihad cannot stand because they have succeeded in chasing all the youth away. More than 65% of Igbo youth are in diaspora. If we take over our land, we will come home. We will come and pay you that homage you want. So it cannot work. So rather, the case is very embarrassing. Go and look at the pedigree of Humphrey Wilson. You have honored Abiola. You have honored June 12. Who popularized June 12? They refuse to honor him. The same way today, people want freedom. They don't want to recognize the man, the message, the carrier of freedom. Mazi Nnamdi is the image of Igbo deliverance and freedom. They don't want him. They want to be free. How are you going to be free? It's not going to happen. They want everyone to believe you can do without Mazi Nnamdi. You can have peace without Mazi Nnamdi. That's what that is the sentence they want to. That's what the politicians want to manage. That's the stage they want to put up. But it will not work because if you do that, they will kill him. They don't. Why they wanted to set up a radio where they will blow the whistle for the jihad to start in Nigeria? They don't need to set up any radio now. All they need is to kill Mazi Nnamdi. If Igbos react, they'll wipe you out. And that's what they want to do. It will not stand because we already know. All their evil cannot come to pass because we know the evil they are planning and we are thinking too. We don't talk again. How we're going to respond, you won't hear that again from anybody. We don't talk again. We're waiting for you to do your evil. You are putting on picture. We have the documentary recording all your killings in Igbo land. You are tagging it on ESN. You want to use it as an evidence to jail our leader, an innocent man that committed a crime. That reasonable judges in their right senses have gone through the fire and said, this man is innocent. Pay him compensation for the evil, for the abuse done on him. You said no, he must be convicted. You've asked before why the continuous leveling of ESN. I will tell you. They are leveling ESN continuously because our leader is still in their custody. They are leveling ESN because they want to jail somebody and they're looking for reasons to do so. That is why an organization is proscribed illegally. The company accept what is right. Judgment had been passed in the past that this is an indigenous people. They cannot be labeled with this stamp to this kind of tag you are placing on them. These people have committed no crime. In Nigeria, go anywhere in Nigeria, there is no evident evidence anywhere of ESM committing crime. You cannot find one. All you can see is where ESM is chasing Fulani. It's not a crime. We don't have no regret. If they come tomorrow morning, we'll still chase them. You see, ESN killing cows. The cows are destroying with the owners of the cows are destroyers. They're destroying livelihood. They're raping people. They've killed thousands. They are reporting that 16 people were killed in Edo. Over 1,000 people have been killed in a Hamov. Who is responding? Who is paying reparation? Who has given orders? Northern elders, governors has issued a threat now for 16 people. Where is Eastern governors? When they killed in Enugu, did you hear their voice? Because we have been conquered. The reason why they failed to get Humphrey Woods to humble on the floor of the Senate is because they have become inconsequential. As they went to prescribe IPV, the Igbos don't know. The political cowards and idiots don't know they are doing themselves. And they are the first to die. You have a full name and guiding you, the name of police and army. Your enemies are guiding you. The day they will give order to eliminate the Igbos, they will kill you first. I don't have them close to me. I'm not even within their reach. You don't have them close to you. It's you. After is that one guiding you with a mountain. One day they will turn the guns on you. Because you brought your enemies to your own land. You have suppressed the voice of the people, say the truth. One man came out and said, look, we're under a special threat. If people have planned to wipe us out, instead of listening to him, work with him. The Yorubas work with Sunday Boko. Our people are bent on destroying us. Our politicians want our people killed. ESM must attack back them. Anybody they see that is will kill them. How is it possible for people to move with arms? Whether you call it them gun, a gun is a gun. Move from River State to Ondo. Police did not police did not apprehend them. Army military checkpoint did not apprehend them. Can somebody move with the Ottomans from Aba to Onisha without police holding him and tagging ESM and Western? What kind of country is that? So Wanda, let it not shock you that they refuse to honor Humphrey Woods. The man that made June 12th relevant, they honor June 12th, they refuse to honor him because you are able. Your people have become inconsequential, politically irrelevant and inconsequential.
Thank you so much, Mazi. Mazi Agocha, don't you think that not giving, not that rejecting this motion of immortalizing Professor Humphrey Nwosu by the most especially the northern senators and southern senators, which among them were Adams Oshomole and Adeola, who spoke fiercely, arguing that Professor Humphrey does not deserve immortalization. But these people are at the same time supporting June 12th as a democracy day. Master Gosha, don't you think that this is hypocrisy?
Hypocrisy in the highest level. Whether without Professor Humphrey Woods, there will be no June. This is a man against all odds. He had the boldness to come out and conduct June 12 election, despite the military being a threat to him, despite serving him papers from the court to refrain him from conducting that very election. But he bravely conducted that election, and all he could get is a star at the back. Listen, let me tell you, one of the problems we have is that we have poor representations, especially coming from our own and our people who represent us in governance, especially in the National Assembly. They don't know what to say at the right time, because most of them have their skeletons, various cupboards, so they are afraid to speak so that they won't call them up at the KCC office or ICC to begin to answer cases they thought that come back forever. And the committed these crimes against their own people. They have eaten monies meant for public service and public development and other facilities that should have benefited the people. Which, what am I saying? Professor Humphrey Woods sincerely, under the brutality of the then head of state, Ibrahim Babangida, and his CSO, who is
Abacha.
then I think then Abacha, then so who is so brutal in killing and all that. He stood his ground and conducted the election, had all the results announced except one state, and he was stopped. And people do not even know. He was even at a point slapped. He was slapped and stopped the process of announcing the remaining results.
Mazi was held hostage in Aso Rock. Mazi Chiwendo. Humphrey Wozu was seized in Aso Rock. He was left only Taraba State. There was a court order that the election should not hold. Humphrey Wozu defied that court order and conducted elections. Only one state was there. They summoned him to Aso Rock and held him hostage. Then somebody is judging him that they didn't announce the election. How did he not announce the election?
Adams Oshomole is a scam. He scammed the labor union, used them to climb to fame. We all know what happened under Obasanjo. He will come out and make noise and he will go behind. Obasanjo will give him his SUV and stop his account money. And he will come out again, he will make noise. And he facilitated the division of the
labor union.
We have the trade union, we have the trade union, we have the labor union, we have all that. He was during his tenure that he made sure that they were divided and the labor unions do not have the strength they normally use to process and cannot function. So the problem I have today, even when he was governor, he stole the state dry. He stole the state dry. One of the problems I have are our representatives from the East. How come somebody is not able to speak boldly the way the northern, there was one northern senator, with the name Yahaya, something Yahaya. He was boldly defending Humphrey Wozu, telling people that without Humphrey Wozu, there was no June 12. So our people who are there, they think the best way to do is to walk out of the assembly. That will not solve it. To stand boldly condemn the so-called Adams Oshomole. Tell him what he doesn't do.
Mazi, you're annoying me. How do you want them to speak? Scrum eaters, people that are looking for crumb. They're looking for Southeast Development Commission crumbs. They're looking for, they have applied for contracts. They have presented their children for contracts. How do you want them to speak?
Yes.
Do you have leaders? You don't have leaders from the East.
That is what I'm telling you now. I'm telling you that they are the problem we have here. They don't even know. They don't know what is up their sleeves. They don't know their responsibility. They don't know how to go about it. So how long are we going to have this crop of criminals and corrupt leaders in our region saying they are representing us? For how long are we going to condone their evils and inability to get things done right? So it is a crime against their so-called democracy not to immortalize Professor Humphrey Wozu, who was, by the way, buried 2 days ago.
They will do it. Tinubu will do it to take the credit. They will do it. Just one.
Now, listen what I wanted our Southeast leaders. I've been waiting, thinking that the governors will call a meeting after his burial, and on that day, they declare that on that day of his burial will become the public holiday, the entire Southeast. Henceforth, I think it was buried on the 27th or 28th, that every 27th or 28th of March will henceforth become the democracy day in the entire Southeast. They have the power. They have the power.
Who has the power?
Who? The Southeast. I'm coming.
How? You have a governor there? Excuse me, sir. You don't have the governor.
I'm telling you they have the power, but they don't have the nerve to carry it out. Having the power.
Somebody put them there. You want them to be removed? Nobody can do that. They will remove you. You don't have a governor apart from Oti who is elected.
Before like 4 years ago or thereabout, 3 years ago, when Buhari now called June 12 as a national democracy day, it has been or continuously been observed in the Southwest. I live in the Southwest. They have continued to observe it. For years, many years, I've been the national day. And on that day, no schools enter. Public servants or government office holders will be at home that, and they honor him that day. So,
why that Jovista? Please, why that Jovista? Permit me to ask questions.
No, allow him to make his assertion, please. Allow him.
No, I want to ask him a question. I'm not interrupting.
Allow him to land, then you can come up with your question, please. Mazi Agocha, can you go ahead?
Okay. Who is even Abiola? So they want us to unpack behind most of the things, including our IBB's queue. He sponsored Buhari's queue. He sponsored IBB's queue. We know what we are talking about. Even Abacha, he was the one that asked Abacha to take over so that later on he will hand over to him. These things are fast, these things are verifiable. So if they can honor somebody who sponsored the overthrow of a democratically elected government, if they can elect somebody who overthrew a democratically elected government like Buhari did against Alex Ekweme and this man, Shehu Shakari, then Nigeria is a place where criminals are honored and real heroes are dishonored and left rot in the trash. So one of the problems, my anger is not that we have rotten individuals like Adam Shomela who do not have, by the way, in a civilized world, he should be in the prison, serving by now for looting and stealing those things dry while people corrupt. Or not the corrupt practices he made while he was the Labour Union leader, deceiving the people, bringing them out protest while he is behind negotiating with the government of Olusegun Obasanjo, collecting money from behind. He should be in the prisons cooling off. He shouldn't have anything to do with the Senate making laws. How can a criminal be making laws for people who are saying, does it happen in any sane society? Nigeria has become an insane society. Nigeria has become where criminalities are done, where corruption is accepted, where abnormality is become norm. And people rejoice over this. People accept it and say they wish. So, for the corrupt people should not only be honored, they should have a status standing right in front of their so-called answer. And all government offices or secretaries over the 36 states of Nigeria. Because without him conducting that very election, without him announcing the result of all that things, there was no way Abiola will have a clue that he already won the election. But they were able to say Abiola won that election because Professor Hossein was announced the result of other states. It was only remaining one state. He bravely conducted the election against all of the military wants him never to conduct that election. He ignored the military, put his life in danger, went ahead to conduct that election. He could have been killed. The family could have been wiped out, but he did that. But few individuals who are mentally deranged and sitting somewhere, stealing money and telling you that no need, that he fooled 8 million Nigerians who voted for that election. This is the shame that we have like Adam Soshomele. And who is that Abiola? I know about Abiola. When I was living around the Timu area, he was the House member representing my constituency there. I know him very well. This man is from Ogun State, but he served as a House representative member on 3 tenures there about in Lagos, and then served as a senator once under Lagos, and then he was chased out when he conducted the primary and lost Lagos. He went to Ogun State, and he said his original place is from Ogun State. He went to Ogun State and told the primaries from them, and now he's presenting Ogun South thereabouts in Ogun State. Where have you seen that kind of criminality? Where have you seen that kind of abnormality happen before in the same country? So this is what we have. It's just like Barack Obama going to Kenya to contest election after being the president of America. This is what we are talking about. Nigeria is so rotten and that it's becoming. So the Southeast leaders, if the Nigerian government fails to honor Professor Humphrey, they should honor him. They should honor him without delay. They should honor him. He deserves an honor. He deserves an honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mazi. Mazi, just before you come with your question to Mazi Chinwendu.
Mazi, just you can give me the.
I'm coming before he brings that question. I want to highlight what you said. You said that criminals cannot make laws for the society, which is true. And you pointed out what Oshomole did when he was the president of Labour Union. Yes, I knew when Oshomole was the president of Labour Union. Then our Lagos chapter Labour president then was Comrade Dada. And all of us, we were curious to what Comrade, then we call him Comrade Oshomole then, because the negotiation that he went into with Obasanjo, we were all disappointed, because even before that, when Oshomole was showing his interest in politics, we all supported him. We all in Labour Union then, we supported him because we knew the work he did as a Labour Union. But unknowingly to us, as they say, that the devil is better than the angel you did not know. We do not know that Adam Soshomole was just being a devil, portraying himself as an angel. We all supported him going for Edo State governorship election because we thought that he will do the same fight that he did for the Labour Union when he was the Labour president. And also, you said that if the Nigerian government cannot do it, let our senators do it. But at the same time, I will also want us to, at least, because I think this is the first time that we are seeing the Senate doing what they ought to do by walking out. At least they did that, and we saw Senator Enyinaya Abaribe and the Southeast senators, they went out to make, they addressed the press on that issue, still talking to the Mr. President to see to immortalizing Professor Humphrey Wose. So at least we can give them kudos to that, and let's see what their further action will be all about, whether they will be shut down as usual and collect their dollars and then forget about it. Mazi JCI, you can come up with your questions, or are you okay with this assertion?
Yeah, my mother, you spoke well, and even what I want to ask is still in line with your, it's in conjunction with your line on this. What I wanted to ask my brother Chiwandu is not an attack. It just is, what my question is a rhetorical question. It's a support of positions he has put forth. I wanted to ask him, how do you want someone who read the nation into power to honor a man like Humphrey Wose, who was unbribable? Humphrey Wose is not like the INEC chairmans you have today that sold the conscience of people, that sold the will, the mandate of millions of people. So Humphrey Wose is the opposite of the INEC of today. Forget the fact that Humphrey Wose led the foundation of that building that Abaribe is begging them to use to honor him. Humphrey Wose is not like these people. How do you expect them? The Oshomole didn't win the election. About Bill that the senior president, how did he get there? He didn't contest primaries. They just woke up and gave it to him. So you expect people, drug barons, criminals, to honor someone like Humphrey Wose. It's not possible. It's not possible. So if you see them not honoring Humphrey Wose, don't be surprised, don't be shocked. Number one, if you don't respect yourself, nobody will respect you. The Igbo politicians have played the Fulani. We have played the harlotry in the hand of the zoo. Nobody has regard for us again. If we allow them to take over our land, appoint, look at the Ebonyi state, handpicking people that will decide. What did Igbo politicians do when they pick somebody for Imo state? That's why we are where we are today. That's why they will get nothing. It's anytime they decide. Somebody was quarreling when they formed the Southeast Development Commission, that they pick leader for them. So they were angry. Then why are you picking leaders for? Why would they pick leader for you? Have you ever had in mind? Is there anybody in the Senate that was chosen by the people except one or two? All of them were picked by their Fulani masters. Some people are going to mosques now to breakfast. Did you see Buhari breakfast in any church? One in Omaru local government is promising to build mosques. How many Muslims have built church because they want Igbo votes? So we have sold ourselves. Our politicians have ridiculed themselves. By giving them Mazi Kanu to date, nobody will respect you. No Igbo political leader can rise or say a word going forward because you have betrayed your brother. You have sold Mazi Kanu to be governor. Hope was on them. They said he was to be released 2023. Tinubu told us that when he released Sunday Boho, they wanted to release Kanu. That they told him to wait for Hope to win the election, and he waited. Now Hope has won the election. They are waiting for Soludo to win the election. Maybe they wait again for Wilfred to win the election. They are trading Mazi and Kanu. They want him to die there. None of you will have peace. Nobody, no politician in Igbo land will live a normal life going forward.
All right, Maz. All right, Mazi. Thank you to that. Let's add this. Let's add this because there's this controversy now. When Senator Natasha was being suspended, and now that they rejected this motion of immortalization, something played out, and that has brought controversy now. That's the issue of voice voting in this era that Nigerian Senate, upon all the money they are siphoning, are still doing voice voting. That time that the Senate president we always rule, or if you want to rule, and those in favor say hi, those that are not in favor say no, say nay. Now, what if those who said hi also say nay? And how do you determine the number of people that say hi or the number of people that say nay without electronic voting? Is it not high time for Nigerian Senate to start electronic voting, or do you think that it will still be the same with INEC electronic voting? Mazi JCI, the question is directed to you.
Wanda, yes, Wanda, see what the problem is. It's not that they can't do electronic voting. I can tell you confidently that it's been suggested over and over. They have the resources. They have the work with I to have that technology. They don't want it because to not allow them to manipulate. The zoo is an animal farm built on corruption. So anything that does not encourage corruption is not condoned. Electronic voting will not enable them to manipulate. You see what they did on Natasha? Here they do things in the Senate. The Senate is not controlled by Mazi. Tinubu wife control the Senate from my house. The executive control the Senate. It's only the days on Naaba, during the Second Republic, that we had Senate, that we had House of Representatives. Do you know, as we speak, and I don't know what the name of the leader of the House of Representatives. In the days of Naaba, everybody knew his name because the House of Rep was working. They were independent. The president could not dictate for them. Obasanjo had no right to tell them what to do. Obasanjo came to Rwanda, they walk him out. But now, Tinubu controls. Tinubu, the Yoruba Qatar, the drug dealers misleading the zoo, controls both the legislature, controls the Senate. So they can adopt such mechanism because it do not allow them to manipulate things and turn things only in their own favor.
Thank you so much. Let's continue with the happenings in the House, in the Senate. Wanda Idara, we can see the tussle between Natasha and the Senate, and also what took place in the meeting where the ethic committee, who were to investigate the allegation by the sexual harassment allegation by Senator Natasha, the feud that went between Senator Nwebonyi and Obi Ezekwesili. We will look at these happenings in different perspectives, and I will do that with Wanda Idara. So, Wanda, do you think that this is just a means to silence women's voice in Nigerian politics?
Thank you very much once again, Wanda Jovista. Well, let us look at the Nigerian society and the way that women are generally treated. Like I always say that Nigeria is a representation of everything that Biafra is not. How was Biafra land before Nigeria came? The pre-colonial role of women in Biafran society. Before 1914, the Biafran society was a fusion of very important roles between the men and the women. Of course, we know that organically, as Africans, me as a woman, I know that my man is my oga. I am subservient to whoever is my man, my husband in this case. My husband also understands and appreciates my role in the family. There was never a need for us to, there's never been a need for that to be something of a tussle. I don't know if you understand me. It's never been a need for us to try to figure out who is in charge. It's never been a problem. Prior to the advent or the arrival of the colonial masters, what was the Igbo society like? The women had large groups. They had significant roles in political life. They participated in village meetings and had very strong solidarity groups. Through women's kingship networks and market networks, women often organized and used their own groups to strike and to boycott, to have strikes and boycotts that affected political decisions back then. Women were respected members of the society, and older women were included in governance. When did this change? It changed when the British came. They saw an organized Biafran society. It was homogeneous. The men had their role, the women had their role. There was no issue. Mazi JCI said something earlier on in his submission. He said one of the biggest tools that they used to subjugate us was religion. And yes, all these things started from religion. When they will bring Bible and Bible will tell us, oh, a woman is supposed to be seen and not heard. And we take it as mantra. If we look at our people well, if you look at the northerners, the women they even cover them from head to toe. They don't, the ones that come out, the ones that manage to come out, some of them will say, oh, this one is a there. They wear them all black because you are a woman. Some they will say, don't open your hair. Your hair is your crown. All kinds of things. But it wasn't like that before. That wasn't the society that we had before. We had a society where our women understood their roles. They were not struggling, they were not fighting with the men. And because everybody understood their assignment, we were able to transfer grace to our daughters, where our daughters did not see themselves as objects. Mother Jovista, I'm trying to go somewhere here. Our women themselves did not see themselves as objects. Everybody had respect, mutual respect. And that is what Biafra is. That is what Biafra represents. That is what Nigeria is not. Nigeria is a state where, in fact, respect is lacking. If you understand what a woman is, if you understand who you are as a woman, you know that in your own right, you are special. Not special because you have things that will entertain a man, but special because you have a working brain and you have what it takes to contribute your quota to the society. The moment you understand that you carry yourself in a certain way that will engender respect, your man should also respect you. But what we have in the Nigerian society from the very get-go, the whole thing has been turned upside down from the very get-go. First of all, now, okay, women we are thrown into equal places in the society with our men. We say we are trying to be modern, we are trying to, we are not doing golden days way again. Now women are given the same roles. So what a man can do, a woman can do, and all those kinds of things that did not even exist in our mentality. This idea of feminism it wasn't there because there was mutual respect. Now Nigeria, from the beginning, they tried to sell the idea that okay, there was a reason why this thing was this way from the beginning. Remember that in the West, there's a confession that one of the colonial masters made, one of their submissions, that when they came to Biafra land, they saw democracy. The democracy they saw there was one that fully integrated the women. But they didn't have that in the West. What you think that they have in the West that favors the woman is a declassification of their society, where a man divorces his wife, for instance, in America, and the woman takes everything. Does it really help? Is it building the society? The model that they had there is not as good as what we used to have in Biafra land. So they needed to destroy it. And what they first did was to create the impression that, yes, our men are, you know, like for me, I believe that the man is supreme. But the woman is no less supreme. They brought this idea that women are subservient to men. And every Nigerian runs with that idea. I say Nigerian, not Biafran, because that is not what was obtainable in Biafra. Every Nigerian runs with it. You go to the workplace. I am a woman. I'm supposed to be okay. I'm working the same job with a man. The man is being paid more than me. I don't know if you have ever experienced it. When I share my experiences as a woman growing up, trying to do business, trying to move around, trying to make my way in Nigeria, sometimes it doesn't resonate with the men. But I've had that experience where I cannot go past a certain level simply because I am a woman. Where I cannot be given access to certain things because I'm a woman. Where certain kinds of favor that I expected from me because I'm a woman. Mother, but that is the one thing. That is on the one hand. On the other hand, is it something that I make core conversation? What am I trying to say? I want to talk specifically about Senator Natasha and the Senate President. Both of them are Nigerian politicians. When it comes to Nigerian politics, I'd like to be mute because, like I said, they are always acting drama. But when it comes to this issue of stifling women, I am glad that I'm a Biafran because that is not the case in Biafra. I am yet to see a Biafran man that has been accused of treating his woman as less than. Let us look at Mazi Nnamdi. He said it. He said the day the women will become involved in this struggle to take a different face. And I am still going to use this opportunity to call on every Biafran woman listening to me. This is a digression, but I'll come back to the main topic. It is time for you to join in and do this work. Because it is not just for our men. We are going to build a Biafra for all of us, and it is now that you start to put your voice. Not that tomorrow when Biafra comes, you say, oh, they are not allowing me to talk. Now that we are building, join in and build. Because Biafra is not Nigeria. I am glad that even if you look at our Lord, Kanu, you can see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gives her the regard and the respect that she's supposed to have, and that is why she pours out praise every time she makes contact with us. I am glad that whenever I am in the midst of my comrades and I want to speak, I am given a voice just as everybody there. Nobody says, oh, she's a woman, let her not. That is not what I see in Biafra. That's not what I see among my Biafrans. And that is why I know that Nigeria is everything that Biafra is not. Father Jovista, when it comes to politics in Nigeria, I don't know what our female politicians have done that have made them to not be given any respect. And the funny thing about these things that have been happening in the past weeks is that the main key actors in all these things are all Biafrans. Look at Senator Boy, a young man, younger than Mrs. Excelency. Look at how he was talking to her because of politics. And that is what Nigeria represents. Disgrace, disrespect, disregard, anything that is smelling, anything that is bad, carry out, stamper, Nigeria, they will accept it. But that is not the way we behave. And we know the truth, we know the right behavior, we know the right way to go about things. They will want that Jovista. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this wonderful assertion. And you say to Biafran women, let all join hands to build. Thank you so much for this wonderful submission. We will start rounding up this program. I would have brought more questions to you, but looking at the time spent so far, I think we shall be um rounding up. But one more question, and I think you can now use it to round up your program, to summarize it. Um, the Enugu women has been protesting. We are still on this sexual harassment about how they were being treated or how they were being attacked by the Fulani man. And an Igbo man from Enugu State came out to claim that these women were being paid to do this protest. And these women said allegedly that these are sorry Fulani killers or terrorists would even not just stop at raping their women, but also inserting objects in their genital womanhood. And no senator or all these Nigerian politically inclined women came out to support these women. And according to claims, that 85% number of women have faced sexual harassment. Yet, Enugu women are protesting, and Nigerian women are not supporting them in fighting this atrocity. Wanda, why do you think that this is happening?
I want to Jovista, thank you for that question. The reason why this is happening is the very same reason why everything that happens in Nigeria happens. Nobody stands for righteousness in Nigeria. Nobody. Nobody that is attached to that place ever comes out to speak truth or righteousness. And you know, we Biafran women, we have a history of standing up for what is right. We have always been that way. And that is why there's a concerted effort to ensure that they wipe us out. What do you remember the Biafra, the Aba war, so Aba riots of 1929? It was led by Biafran women. And that riot spread out across, I think they said up to six nations in Biafra land were involved, all the way to Ijo, Anang, and Ibibi and other places. It was always Biafran women. Look at Eham. Our women came out again to come and defend themselves. It's not that we don't have female representatives in all those places that we've never had, but they choose to hide behind our enemies because of what they are benefiting. At that point in time, they don't care. They are more interested in, oh, let me wear my big clothes, buy fabrics, buy bags of rice every December. Or today that I heard that some people are doing Modern Sunday, they will go to their localities and go and distribute. Oh, mommy, oh, mama. That is all. That is the thing that gives them. So that to them is their role. But the real task of doing the job of securing the lands as mothers, no, that one is not glamorous. They don't like that glamorous one. They like to hide behind evil. And one day we are going to call all of them out one by one. Personally, I'm taking note of every one of them. We need more women like our women. In fact, I heard recently about, I think it happened a few years ago at a village called Lupa, near Uzwakodi, where the women also got up, the women farmers got up in the night and went and faced the Fulani herders. That is the spirit of the Biafran women. That is how the Biafran woman is. She stands up and she fights for the truth. They are not Nigerians. Nigeria represents, oh, Mother Jovista. Everything that is Nigerian is designed to kill you. It's not designed to help you or to add value to you. So we must ensure that Nigeria comes to an end. Before Nigeria will end us.
Thank you so much, Wanda. I sincerely appreciate all your submissions, and I will always remember you on this platform with your saying that everything Nigeria is what Biafra is not. Thank you so much for your wonderful contributions, Mazi Chiwendum. Summing up in uh 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes, and I will taking you back to the happenings in Edo State. We know that allegations of atrocities have been linked to Dangote logistic trucks. And I want to ask, in all these atrocities that we always link to Dangote truck, do you think that if this entrepreneur is being championed by an Igbo man, would that venture still be existing? I mean, would that venture have not been terminated and barred from operation?
Thank you very much. Mr. The issue is very simple. About this, Nigeria is really divided from traditional and traditional and tribal life. And they have maintained that abnormality to all levels, not allowing justice to take place. For as long as it didn't favor your religious person or your traditional person, justice will not take place. So because of this, we've been suffering setback and Nigeria has refused to work. If Dangote today is an Igbo man, the business would have been closed. All branches in Lagos will burn down, all branches in the north burn down. Government will come up with sanctions and all that nonsense, and you find out that before you know it, you take it. But there's nothing. But then it can't do it. It's allowed, or should I say, these drugs are allowed to compete all manner of terrorism and killing people with reckless attack. Nobody being held responsible for all the things that happen. My brother, for how long? For how long are we going to hold on? For how long are we going to allow it to happen? I want to say that what happened in those days is regrettable. But at the same time, the people are tired. The people are tired of being used to promote their religious and traditional and tribal promotions without giving justice. I have seen northern leaders coming with a press release and warning for the whole of us, all the people that always been here anywhere in the south, those states, and Osaka and all that part of it, like this north and like this terrorist and others. How many times have you seen northern leaders and governors coming to issue apology? How many times have you seen the Southeast leaders or Southwest, the Philippines of South, that coming to condemn and warn northern terrorists not to invade our territories again? Let's say, not to believe our people of this. They will not, but this is what they will not do. The more we allow them, the more innocent people will die. The earlier we gather side and make to this British nation that not about us, that was designed to destroy us, that was designed to set us back in that for us. Call on all conscience people, call on all people of goodwill to support the freedom of Biafra being called by Archduke, led by Master and the director of the so that we can have our freedom and live in peace. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. You've done wonderfully well for informing our people. Thank you so much for coming. Mazi JCI Onyuku, can you also sum up in 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes with this question? Still on Edo happening. The new governor of Edo State, whom I don't think that is up to 3 months on the seat, that just announced or Okay, he wasn't the one. He wasn't the one that promised Tinubu that all the Edo people is going to vote. It was the traditional ruler that promised Tinubu that come 2027 that all the but that is by the way. What I want to ask is that Edo State Governor Senator Monde Okpebolo has announced the immediate suspension of all illegal vigilante group and also the commander of security corps Friday Ibadan. So I want to ask for this dissolution of all the security vigilante of Edo State. Mazi, do you think that the senator has taken the right step? And also, do not forget that in all the programs that have been committing or have been committed against the Biafrans, starting from 1953 in lynching the Igbos on the streets of Kanu, the streets of Jos, to 1956, 19, and all their genocide, nobody, no corporate has been held responsible for those pogroms. But today we see the number of arrests in Edo State for what just happened 2 days before. We've seen the number of arrests and the threats all over the social media. Maz, what do you have to say about this threats and this immediate suspension or dissolution of all the vigilante groups in Edo State?
They do the recklessness, the executive absolutism going on in the zoo that has been prevalent since APC.
Please, Mazi, please just kindly hold on. Technical director, please, this was not discussed, but I think someone is asking for room for contribution. Please, can you just place the phone number so that one or two persons will contribute before we go? Mazi, go ahead.
So, like I was saying, the executive absolutism displayed by these APC political rascals who has hijacked the zoo keeps propping up at every level. They keep displaying the same thing. There's nothing wrong with people, vigilantes, guarding themselves. Sorry, we don't support jungle justice like everybody here have said, but they all the security apparatus, all the vigilantes should not be dissolved because Fulani will overrun them. All these things are state managed. APC and with their foot soldiers, Fulani are the foot soldiers of APC and the Britain who want to conquer all the indigenous people in the zoo called Nigeria. What Obadono, whatever is there, the young man in the state house that doesn't know his left and right, what he is to Shomole is what Shawolo is to Tinubu, what Wif is to Defumahi, what Fabora, we can want the Fabora to be in River State. So these are not political leaders. These are people who never won an election. They were handpicked to add sort of an injury. You see that their predecessors performed for them, handpicked them. Whether they get a vote or not, they announce them as winner and tell them what to do. They play their script. They fight in Rivers now is because of, like we're told, this money. How much does Wike get from the whole thing? So if you see all of these people, they're not political leaders. That's why they are the way they are. Why would you disband the people guiding their people? Do you know how many people Fulani has killed in Edo State? We're talking about 16. 16 is what ratio to what the casualties in Edo. Have you not been seeing the videos of how Fulani have been killing people in Edo State? Who made statements? Why haven't they disbanded the Fulani Magba that is killing people everywhere in Nigeria? Why hasn't somebody gone to court and they proscribed them and bound them? Why hasn't Tinubu declared state of emergency on Fulani herdsmen in Nigeria? They are working for them and the British and the French to conquer indigenous people. So I don't have much to say. But they will fail. All their shenanigans will fail. Do you know why they will fail? The Mazi Nnamdi Kanu generation has risen. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has spoken and his words have sunk. People now are aware. People are now conscious of protecting their land. People are now jealous of their heritage. It can't succeed. It is succeeded in conquering the house race. They can't succeed in conquering every other race. And the Hausa will take back their own land in a short while. The Hausas already revolted. So that's what I want to say about that. But in conclusion, what I want to say again in conclusion is that we are friends all over the world should keep marching. There's an agenda to invade Igbo land. In case you don't know, Fulani is testing their mic in Igbo land. All these killings in Eboy, all these killings in Enugu are harmful. Fulani is testing the mic. Would the people resist? How would they respond if we attack? That's what they're doing now. They're experimenting. And the state is supporting it. Tinubu is aware. Tinubu is the one in charge of all the killings. Because he's the chief security officer of Nigeria. Nobody bears arms anywhere in Nigeria that is not approved by the government. All the AK-47s are licensed. In case you don't know, they are licensed to the government. People were taking pictures after Fulani attack in Enugu. Soldiers were stopping them, preventing them. Why? Have you asked yourself? Have you asked yourself why is it that with all the military checkpoints in Igbo land, they're kidnapping every day? Who is doing it?
Mazi, please, sorry for another interruption, please, because I don't want us to spend more than 5 minutes here. Let me call the number so that if there is anybody who feel that he has a contribution or question should come forward and it won't exceed 2 persons. Please call this number +491 +49, please. 1521 671 5033. I repeat, +49 1521 671 5033. Mazi, go ahead. If you round up and no call comes in, then we wind down.
So, like I was saying, no demon, no force of arm, no political gerrymandering will stop the emergence of Biafra. Whether you're white, black, red, black, brown, nothing, nobody born of a woman will stop the coming of Biafra. Because why? Creator of the heaven and earth has sent us. No surrender, no retreat. This mass and the Kanu generation will get Biafra. How long it takes is only a question of time. We have come to take what belongs to us. We don't hate nobody. All we have said is that we want to preserve our heritage. How can you have a whole Senate? Nobody has regard for the Igbo race. 2025 appropriation bill budget has nothing for the Igbo race, for Southeast region. 1 naira was not voted, and you're making our resources every day. All their planning is how to come and eliminate us. It will not happen. It will come to pass. I've said it before, times without number. Those that want to invade Igbo land should rethink. You know why? A lot of people have risen. People called me, and the present thing about it now is that it's not just Igbos that want to defend our land. Every Biafran everywhere in the world. The person leading this group is from Isoko. They called and told me their objective, how far they have come. That the enemy is planning to invade our land. They are thinking about responses. The different countries of the world. People are regrouping. They are thinking home. They are thinking about how to safeguard our land. In no time, ESN will have more than enough support. In no time. We will not fold our hands and allow them to wipe us out. In case you have forgotten, when Buhari wanted to wipe out, kill Christians in Nigeria, they surround the mic with the churches. He gave an order that the Jew of all the churches should resign. If you are 70 and above, resign. And they will shake, resign. They know they will ask them, if you ask not to resign, why didn't you ask your own spiritual leaders to resign? That's when they realized that they misfired. And they withdraw the idea. They're making video now to criminalize ESN. They didn't think that. They forgot that they had their military checkpoint close to that other van. So where were you? Where was the intelligence all these years? If you want to pin all your crimes on innocent people, if you can last forever, it doesn't matter how intelligent the perpetrators are. Light will always prevail over darkness. Tell anybody you know. It doesn't matter what they do to surprise these distant voices. They cannot succeed forever. Light will prevail. And light will come at the end of the tunnel. Anybody planning to kill Mazi and the Kanu is dreaming. You are hallucinating. Okay? You're a utopian dream.
All right. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you so much. Let's entertain this call and let's see what it has for us. Mazi Jidofo, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you,
Mother Jovista, thank you especially for this very interesting program. I thank Mazi JC Onyuku and Mother Idara Good.
No, not Idara Good. She is Wada Idara Oku. She's different from Wada Idara Good. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. And our comrade Agwasha. My name is Mazi Jidofo. I thank you so much for this very interesting program, and it's very educative, and I learned a lot. Like Wanda Idara spoke before concerning the threat to life. I love the point he made there, and that very point is what caused the jungle justice. Without the protection of government, people must be forced to protect themselves. It is only in Igbo language they said, it is only a tree that can stand whenever the person that wants to cut it approaches. But human being must react, animal must react. So what happened in Edo State is a reaction because of the negligences of Nigeria Security Agency and its government was the reason people have to protect themselves. You know, jungle justice, to my own contribution, is what I see as an act of reaction, act of emergency commission. Because when you feel so empty that nothing is backing you, nothing can protect you, as a human being, you have to protect yourself. That is what happened in Edo, and it has been happening in many other places without any opera like Edo issue. Fulani herdsmen went to Owo Catholic Church to be 2023 or 2023 and massacre many people there. Nobody can hear about the case any longer. The recent one that happened in Abuja Church, they went there and killed people and kidnapped people, and they are paying ransom to release those people. No government is saying anything. The one that is happening in Yoruba land and the one that is happening in Igbo land, it is a red alert to everybody to be security conscious of its own self. To be security conscious of its own self. So what happened in Edo State, to my own understanding, is because of the existential threat of indigenous people. That was the reason people have to take the law into their hands. And the blame shouldn't go much on the people who took the laws on themselves, on their hands, because if they do not create such a threat, such fear, these people said that their hunters might tomorrow turn to terrorists and kidnap and come in the night and kill them. That is the fact. So the blame is on the government side because there is no adequate security given to the people for the protection of their lives and properties. And that is the result of what has happened today. And secondly, Wanda Jovista, listening when Mazi Agwasha was making some assertion, though Mazi JC, I wanted to, I was following up concerning the walkout of the Senate. There is a question that we really ask Igbo politicians. Igbo politicians, they have done very well on that aspect, but once Jonathan made this question on Radio Biafra, that should be on 27th of this month program he made about 2 days ago. And I want to ask this question again. So Igbo politicians in the Senate has the spirit to walk out because Humphrey Nwosu was not immortalized.
The motion was rejected. Yeah.
It was rejected. Now, these senators in the House could not be able to walk out for exclusion of Southeastern region in the federal government. this is a question that every senator, whether in the House of Representatives or in the Red Chamber, should answer Igbo Eastern region. They have the guts to walk away because of Humphrey Nwosu, but a 2025 federal project was excluded from the Eastern region. They could not find a reason to walk away from the chamber because of that. And when you listen to that clip, the president presiding over that bill was telling the region, the whole region, that a supplement maybe he said the word he uses maybe in nearer future, which the future might not come, that a supplementary
they might be included in the supplementary budget.
They might in English language is a probability, it's not certain. So the senators from the East could not be able to walk away from the chamber because of this very particular thing. Why our land produced the economy that Nigeria is using to sustain themselves. It is this is a question that we have to be asking these Igbo politicians and asking those governors as well, because this very matter of exclusion 2025 budget can never be brought to book again till 2025 ends. That is the fact about it. So we have to ask our politicians if they are walking away because of Humphrey Nwosu demonetization. Why are they not making a statement over exclusion of Eastern region in federal project 2025? So this is where I will bring it. And thank you so much for picking my call. The program is very interesting, and I wish this comes more and more. Thank you, Mother Jovista.
I sincerely appreciate your... Thanks for your immense contribution. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your calling in. And this is where we are wrapping it up for today's edition, and I will still appreciate our guest, Mazi JCI Onyuku, for always giving out your time to come to address or keep informing our people, because on Biafra Television and Radio Biafra London is where we tell the world the truth. I appreciate your work, Mazi Agocha Chiwendum, despite your tight schedule today. Even when I called you that it is time you have to leave from where you were and rush to a place that can enable you to be on the platform. I thank you so much for all your efforts in media. Thank you for doing your job diligently without making a noise, because I know so many people must be asking, who is this Chiwendum? Chiwendum, a day is coming when they will get to know you very well. You have done so much work for us in IPOB, very active in IPOB media. And so many people don't know that we have so many people in the media who do the job without making any noise. Wada Idara, I appreciate your coming also, for answering this call and for making all your wonderful submissions, which I will never forget. I will always remember the first day you came to this platform that you said that everything Nigeria is representing is what Biafra is not. Thank you so much. And thank you, our viewers, who has been there for us, appreciating our time. I also appreciate your time for staying with us. And I'll never forget our technical director, who is also there all the time, running from Radio Biafra to Biafra Television, making sure that our people are always getting the message. But before we go, do not forget that here again is another farming season that our people are always encouraged to go to farm. Thank God that ESN is there for us to protect our territory, to protect our bushes, and to protect our farmlands and the farmers also. Make sure that you make your farming or your agriculture this farming season, for those who are philanthropists and for those who support people, please, it is not only on Christmas season that we support people. This is the time that you can give people grains to plant, you can give them cassava stems, you can give them so many things to plant this farming season, and the earlier we do it, the better for us. Because if after the season, the planting season, and those stuffs are coming, I think there will be waste. I thank you so much, lovers of freedom. I thank you also, our listeners, for spending this time with us. I still remain Wada Jovista Chichi, saying to you good evening.
The bricks. Something. Oh na 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 na. Watch it out. Watch me far away, see me far away. Shabada, tell me what you saw. I will show you what I have, because I have myself. Oh, then think say na defense. Make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, you go learn to pretend. Do not run away. Kind of sober than you. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I talk. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I am. Ohaneze Ndigo, how na day? I don't come to speak my mind with no delay. Let them know say una eyes clear about una way. Watch out, many things they happen in that country you dey. So some people trouble upon people every day. Even when you dey, you go talk say you know dey. I need to understand why this one about. I need to understand why this truth apart. The promise that we got and nationalize. The promise we will live and no complaints. Watch me far away. Watch me far away. See me far away. See me far away. Tell me what you saw. I will show you what I have, because I have myself. Oh, then think say na defense. Oh, make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, oh, you go learn to pretend. Oh, do not run away. Kind of sober than you. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I talk. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I am. Samada, cha cha cha, kick Samado, Boomba. say, now here we dey. We don't come to stay. I say no retreat, no surrender. We're living big, but no arrange. Look at the soldiers killing innocent Biafrans every day. Look at Islam is killing innocent Christians every day. It's depending me, it's depending me, it's depending me. Chukwuoki Kobiama, Pataranyo say maka, Pataranyo say maka. I know Ginaka, that is why I say, that is why I thought, that is why I know. That is why I say, that is why I thought, that is why I know. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mohammadike one, Biafra nine, Ayisigi Gabaniru, Onyaka ya docha, Weli feneme, Onye na ya netuno yine, Chukwu kwa mawaja. You are whiter than snow, Oku Gibesioku. We stand where you stand, we say no secret trial. Onyinye Chukwu, Ezosika, Osiki, Mohammadike, no secret trial. Prophet Yahweh's young, Osiki, Mohammadike, Osiki Jisike, Matus, Ejike, Koli, Osiki. One day Muje Bije, Sikwa, no Welly Feneme, no Welly Fenafia, no Welly Fenaco. Yes, the one name Victor Chimesie Okorochuku Igbo Network Television London Osiki Jisike na hakuge nazu Biafra nile gedine nuwa Asiki Gabaniru no secret trial, no secret trial, no secret trial, no secret trial. Hey! Watch me far away, see me far away. Tell me what you saw, I will show you what I have. Because I have myself, oh, then think say na defense, oh. Make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, oh, you go learn to pretend, oh. Do not run away. That is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I thought, that is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I know. That is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I thought.